The 16th annual Here Comes Santa Claus Day events took place this weekend all over the city. From meeting Santa and the Grinch to getting hot dogs and carriage rides, our Abby St. John has more on how the day went for the 16th year.
Are you here to see Santa?
Yeah, see Santa.
Are you excited to see the Grinch?
Yeah. Merry Christmas!
For 16 years, children and families all over Lloyd can spend the day at various events in the city as part of the Here Comes Santa Claus event. The main attraction, of course, is meeting the man in red himself and the Grinch.
The day's been fantastic. It's been a little bit cooler than we actually expected, but it's still a beautiful day. And there's been a ton of people come out, and Santa's still the star. Santa's still the big star. The Grinch is a close second. And, we had so many characters out, and so many people and so many families came out, and it was nice to see so many smiling faces.
New events are added every year to keep things fresh, and one of the new attractions was a horse-drawn carriage ride around downtown. This was a way for the city to show off the finished construction from the summer.
It was to bring foot traffic down as part of the downtown area development plan, is to bring pedestrians downtown, create foot traffic to local vendors, and to show them all the great work that has been done over the summer.
This year, like every year, was a great turnout, whether it was meeting Santa, catching a free matinee at May Cinema 6, or enjoying a hot dog from the Lloydminster Fire Department.
The weather's absolutely beautiful out. We got about 1,000 hot dogs we're looking to cook. There's quite a few people out today.
I know we have a lack of snow, which could be a plus for us, but it's absolutely wonderful. We've had great foot traffic. We've had nothing but positive comments about the other events happening around the city, and we're just very happy to be part of it.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Abby St. John.
Time now to take a look back. Here's Ty Roswell with Retrospect.
This week in retrospect, we take it back to 1994, where the Lloydminster Border Mark project sparks controversy, causing residents in the town of Marshall to band together for a little fun.
People traveling along Highway 16 past Marshall may have noticed a new site. It's known as the Marshall Mini Marker. A few area residents came up with the idea of having their own monument following the controversy with Lloydminster's border markers. Dave Hardy, who was behind the project, says it wasn't until recently the idea became reality.
Well, actually it's been up for about 3 weeks, but we added some lights a couple of days ago, and before that nobody noticed.
The Marshall marker was not that costly to make either. In fact, it even came in under budget.
We budgeted for about $120, but we were under budget because I used some of my stock car paint, which cut that. But we had lots of volunteers, I know.
Hardy says there has been a lot of positive comments about the marker. Some people were almost convinced Marshall is where the actual border is.
There's a couple coming, which we didn't know, and they said, isn't that a border marker? And I said, yeah, it is. And they said, well, gee, the border markers are in Lloydminster. And I said, well, actually the border's over here. They made a mistake, and because there was a drilling rig out off to the north there, and I said, we're putting in some more. And he went and told his wife, and I said, I don't know how far this is going to go, but he believed this.
While Marshall may be putting itself on the map with its mini markers, City of Lloydminster officials say there's nothing like the real thing, and the more publicity, the better.
I'm actually quite happy to see that a group of people have decided that there's something worth noting and worth marking and worth talking about. The more that we can get information and exposure and people talking about the markers, and the more publicity that we get, all the better, because that's what they were really designed to do, is to generate comment, to generate interest, and it's certainly happening.
And in 1998, Carstairs, Alberta sees something unusual. 2 white solaires, the only 2 in existence at the time.
What you were looking at isn't a Shirley. No, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. It's a white solaire. In fact, there are only 2 in existence, and they reside in Carstairs, Alberta.
Well, they're white, and As far as I know, they're the only 2 white ones so far that in the world. They're registered, they're blood types, they're white purebred Solaire bulls.
The white hair coat on these bulls wasn't planned. It was a product of breeding, which produced a completely new outcome.
I think what it is that the sire is yellow and the dam is yellow, but they're 3/4 brothers and they're quite a bit of line breeding in it. And it's the line breeding, I think, that threw the white, because what they really are is just double yellow bulls. So we're looking for yellow calves out of them, and hopefully we can get into that kind of a market with them.
Robert feels there is a market for these white Solaires, even though it might have been stronger a few years ago.
A few years ago it would have been better because the blacks have come on so strong, but we didn't have them then, we have them now. So I think that there's a market for people if they have using Charolais bulls or white terminal cross on red cows. They often get a premium for their calves. They sell their heifers too, so they buy back red calves and then they have to use red bulls. So they can't blend their heifers in with their cows' calves, and this is an opportunity that they might want to look at to try to get some of that premium that they're missing.
Some producers were quick to accept the color, while others feel the industry would be better without it.
So they've been around to some shows, and commercially they seem to be well accepted. Some of the purebred people like it, others don't like change.
When the first calf crop comes off these bulls, the industry will take their first look at the outcome. Could the Solaire breeders see a shift in a trend? Only time will tell.
And that's it for our week in retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.
Abby St. John is in now to bring us up to date with the weather, and we were just discussing how it's very unpredictable these days. You can't really say what's going to happen.
Yes, exactly. I know I didn't do the weather on Friday, but I said on Thursday that it was going to be very overcast, and it was a sunny day all day, so apologies for that. But yeah, very unpredictable. And like you were saying, that there was a storm that hit Edmonton that was supposed to hit us, and it didn't hit us, and we had a very nice day out today as well. Very sunny, not too cold. There was a bit of a chill, but it wasn't too bad, all things considered. A little bit of cloud coverage rolling in, and we're supposed to have a cloudy day tomorrow as well. Who knows if that will happen, but currently we're at 0 degrees, and with the wind chill, it feels closer to -4. 13 km/h winds, so it's a little bit breezy as we've seen throughout the last couple of months actually. So it doesn't feel too cold with that -4. And then across the region in Alberta, -2 in Provost, 0 also out in Wainwright, -1 in Vermilion, and then +1 in Merwayne, Edmonton, Lac La Biche, and Cold Lake, -3 in Vegreville, +3 in Bonnyville, and +2 out in St. Paul. And then on the Saskatchewan side, -4 up in Isle Cross, 0 out in Pearson, Green Lake, Maidstone, and North Battleford, -1 in Meadow Lake, and +1 in St. Walburg and out in Macklin. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, it will drop down to -8 degrees, partially cloudy skies, and that wind will be at around 13 km/h, so it shouldn't be too bad of an evening out tonight. And then tomorrow, expect a daytime high of +3 and sun throughout the day with a little bit of cloud coverage here and there. Wind speed at 15 km/h, so it may feel closer to 0 with that wind chill, or around -1, +1, that area. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake will also drop down to -8, partially cloudy skies. The wind will be slow at 9 km/h, so it shouldn't be too bad of an evening. And then tomorrow, expect cloudy skies, high of +2, and winds coming in at 11 km/h. Overnight tonight here in Lloydminster, it'll drop down to -6, partially cloudy skies as well, and then the wind will be at 17 km/h, so it'll be quite windy out tonight for us here in the border city. And then just to break down your day for tomorrow, in the morning before school starts, it will be around -4. Cloudy skies is what I'm predicting for tomorrow. And then around recess time, mid-morning, it will be -2 degrees, and then 1 degrees by lunch in the middle of the day. And then by the time school is out, it will be 3. And that wind will start out at 22 kilometers per hour and then start slowing down to about 11 by the time school is out. So it will start out as quite a windy day and then kind of slow down as the day goes on. And then over the next 3 days here in Lloydminster, high of +4 and a low of -1 for tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, expect more cloudy skies with a high of +4 and a low of -3. And then on Thursday, we might get that sun back again and a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 0 and a low of -8. That is a first look at your evening weather forecast. I'll have more overnight temperatures later on in the show.
The Lloydminster Bobcats have been on a bit of a downstretch, dropping their last 3 games. They were hoping to turn it around at home with their annual teddy bear toss game. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
The Border City packed the Centennial Civic Center alongside their teddy bears, excited for some great Bobcats hockey and that coveted first Bobcats goal to toss their bears on the ice. However, the Camrose Kodiaks were ready to shut down the Bobcats, and in the opening frame were doing that quite well, and struck first with Garrett Tom scoring halfway through the first. The Kodiaks continued to shut down the Bobcats, and fans still had their teddies as the Bobcats went into the dressing room. But after a slow start to the second, a lucky too-many-men penalty against the Kodiaks gave the Bobcats their breakthrough. Bannacoin, with help from Dalton McGelvery and Ishan Mitu, scored the power play goal, which sent over 500 teddy bears raining from the stands onto the ice.
Wanted to get it a bit earlier than we did, but it's good to get that one on the power play and get some momentum with all the fans throwing the bears on the ice, and it was really good to see how many came out there. So it's great support from the community, it always is.
The Bobcats used this momentum in the second to score another big goal. Jamie Weller scores his first ever goal as a Bobcat after being traded to the Bobcats in September.
It's a great feeling for sure. Good to get the monkey off the back, and credit to my teammates for finding me in a good spot there. So yeah, it was a good feeling.
That goal would go on to be the game-winning goal as the Bobcats would shut down the Kodiaks in the third to win the game 2-1. Another bright spot was the return of Jet Kosman, who had been out for 4 weeks and scored his first point of his young AJHL career in the win.
It feels great. Like, it sucks watching up in the stands for a while, but knowing that I can come back and make an impact on the game means a lot.
The Bobcats will head on a 3-game road trip before returning to the Centennial Civic Center for a big game against the Drayton Valley Dragons. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, local news.
Abby St. John is back now to take another look at our weather.
Thanks so much, Leanne. We are currently sitting at 0 degrees. Feels closer to -4 with that wind chill, 13 km/h winds. We saw a very sunny day out today. It was very nice out. Not too cold. There was a little bit of a nip, and then the wind kind of added to that. But so far, it's still been fairly nice out here in the Border City. And then across Alberta, temperature-wise, Rocky Mountain House is sitting at 0, as well as out in Edson. 2 degrees out in Red Deer, 1 in Edmonton, Athabasca, and Cold Lake, -1 in Whitecourt, and 3 out in Jasper. And then on the Saskatchewan side, -1 in Meadow Lake, 0 in North Battleford, -2 in Saskatoon, -5 in Prince Albert, and Melfort is sitting at -6. And then if we go more up north in Saskatchewan, -13 in Uranium City, -15 in Stony Rapids, -8 in Wollaston Lake, -11 in South End, -9 in Flin Flon, -5 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows. And then on this Alberta side, -1 in Fort Mac, -2 in Peace River, 0 out in Slave Lake and in Grand Prairie, -12 in Fort Chipewyan, and minus 13 out in High Level. And then down south in Alberta, minus 1 in Coronation, plus 1 out in Banff. 7 in Calgary and 6 in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. And then on the Saskatchewan side down south, minus 5 in Kindersley, minus 4 in Yorkton and in Moose Jaw, minus 6 in Regina, 0 out in Estevan, and 0 also out in Swift Current. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, expect temperatures to drop to minus 8, 13 km/h winds, and partially cloudy skies. And then overnight tonight in Cold Lake will drop down to minus 8 as well, partially cloudy skies and 9 km/h wind, so it should be a fairly nice evening out. And then temperatures across the region overnight, minus 8 in Meadow Lake, minus 7 in Bonnyville, minus 4 in Provost, minus 10 in Isla Crosse, and minus 9 in Paradise Hill, all sitting fairly partially cloudy skies overnight. Not a huge chance of any precipitation to happen, as well as the wind speeds aren't going to be too bad. Provost sitting at the highest with 13 km/h winds. More temperatures across the region overnight tonight. Minus 5 in Murnum and in Wainwright, minus 9 in Pierceland, and minus 6 out in Unity, plus 1 out in Calgary. Partially cloudy skies in all areas, and then in Calgary there's about a 57% chance of some rain or snow showers later on this evening. Overnight tonight here in Lloydminster, partially cloudy skies as well. Minus 6 will be our evening temperature. However, that wind speed will be at 15 km/h, making it a little bit cooler. And then over the next 7 days here in the border city, a high of plus 4 and a low of minus 1 for tomorrow. Expect some wind speeds in the morning, high around 22 km/h, and then it will be windy, or cloudy rather, all day. And that will carry on into Wednesday with a high of plus 4 and a low of minus 3. On Thursday, expect some sunshine with a little bit of cloud coverage and wind in the afternoon. On Friday, the clouds will start to part and it will be more sunny with a high of minus 2 and a low of minus 9. On Saturday, expect a very sunny day out at the high of minus 3 and a low of minus 9 as well. And then on Sunday, about a 55% chance of some snow in the morning with a high of minus 1 and a low of minus 8. And then back on Monday, plenty of sun with a high of minus 2 and a low of minus 12. That is a look at your evening weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break. I'm happy to be joined here again by Janelle Owens with the Lloyd Mall. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Abby.
Of course. Now, the Lloyd Mall never sleeps because you guys are always coming up with these fantastic events. We just had Glitter Night, which I hope was a success. Now we have another event for the holidays, Breakfast with Santa. Tell me about that because it's coming up in just a few weeks. Tell me what people need to know about it.
Yes, so this year, Lloyd Mall, along with our event partner, Border Inn Suites, will be hosting Breakfast with Santa Saturday, December 9th. Santa will be there greeting the kids, singing some Christmas carols. Each child receives a goodie bag. There will be 2 different sittings, so one will be at 9:15 a.m. and one will be at 10:45 a.m. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, November 21st at 9 a.m. through Eventbrite, and the link to book is on our website at lloydmall.com. Tickets are $12, and all of the proceeds this year will be used to help local families this holiday season.
That's incredible in a very unique way because, of course, children love Santa Claus, and it's different than just going to get your picture taken with him. You know, this is more interactive, I think, and, bigger groups of kids can enjoy it. Now, I believe this isn't the first year that it's been put on, correct?
No, this is our very first year. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is amazing. So where did the idea for this then come from?
We wanted to have another event to give back to our community, and Santa is a big deal, and we thought that it would be fun to have the kids have an event where they could come and interact with Santa and sing with him and hang out. And so Breakfast with Santa was born.
And the idea of having two different sittings, why was that choice made to have two different times?
To have space wise. So just to make sure that everybody that wants to be involved can be. So we'll have a first sitting of approximately 120 and then another sitting of 120 to make sure that everyone that wants to come can.
And just to confirm, for people, just the technical aspects, tickets go on sale tomorrow. Where can they find tickets again, and the time or when when the sale starts for the tickets?
Absolutely. So it is tomorrow at 9 a.m. You can go to the Lloyd Mall website. We do have a link to the Eventbrite, or you can go straight to Eventbrite. It's right on there, and all tickets will be purchased online.
That sounds awesome. And it is going to be an absolutely fantastic event. And I cannot wait to hear all about it and how much of a success it will be. Now, you wanted to mention Black Friday as well. So tell me a little bit about what that is for people to know as well.
Yes, so Lloyd Mall is having some awesome Black Friday sales coming up as well. So this Friday is Black Friday. Our mall hours will be 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the Lloyd Mall itself is having a special on our gift cards. If you purchase a $100 gift card, you will receive a $10 Lloyd Mall gift card free. They're available for purchase all day long at the Lloyd Mall admin office. As well, you can head to our website on Friday, lloydmall.com, and there will be a secret website page that will go live, and that will have all of the Black Friday specials happening here at Lloyd Mall.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. These events at the mall just keep on getting better and better. And it's awesome, especially with the holiday season, adding in all these unique, fun events like Glitter Night and now Breakfast with Santa. It's amazing that you guys are doing this, not just for you guys, but for the community as a whole because of the money that it goes towards. So thank you so much for joining me. And I wish you the best of luck for Breakfast with Santa.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me again, Abby.
This year's Here Comes Santa Claus Day lineup featured a new event, the inaugural Santa's Milk and Cookie Eating Contest. It saw participants vie for $500 in prize money.
It probably went way better than I probably thought it was, and it took a little bit longer than I thought it would for these people to eat a package of Chips Ahoy cookies and drink a liter of milk. I honestly thought it was going to be like bang, go, and there was going to be some professional eaters that were going to be done. But it took a little bit. I don't know if anybody had a stopwatch on. I didn't put a stopwatch on, but I should have.
Marty Raspier won the contest. He says he didn't have a strategy going into it.
Cookies, once I've seen what kind they were, it was made it a little easier to decide. I thought they were going to be Oreos. That would have been pretty easy. The soft ones kind of get stuck in your mouth a bit, so, but powered through it.
Marty took home $350 for his efforts. Good job, Marty. A little extra cash is always nice at this time of year.
Yes, and I love how they add new events to the Here Comes Santa Claus Day event. You know, they're always trying to make it new and fresh, and they had carriage rides as another new event. So I like this. It's a nice addition, and it's a fun addition to the event.
For sure. And I know his son was very proud of him as well for
Yes.
doing such a good job. All right, thanks for joining us tonight. That's all we have for you. Have a great evening.